If Druski can do Whiteface, then why can't I do Blackface? If he can paint himself white as a joke, then why can't I paint myself black as a joke?
By May 1981, Larry Holmes was 37-0 with 27 knockouts. He was the WBC heavyweight title holder, the Ring Magazine champion holder, and the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. In other words, he had the right to the heavyweight crown, a claim that he had since 1980. But then there was another guy. His name was Jerry Cooney. He was up and coming. He was a power puncher. He was 24-0 out of New York, and he had beat some pretty good fighters at this time. He had destroyed Ron Lyle, then Jimmy Young. He had a challenge in front of him. He had to beat former heavyweight champion Ken Norton, who had beat Muhammad Ali in the past, to be considered a serious contender. And in May 1981, that fight would come into reality. But what happened? He beat Norton's ass within 54 seconds. Woo! After this fight, there was this whole idea of Jerry Cooney being the Great White Hope. And this is important for this video because there hadn't been a heavyweight champion since 1959 when Ingemar Johansson out of Sweden knocked out Floyd Patterson. So the world wanted to see this fight happen. And indeed, it happened in 1982. And indeed, that fight would happen on Friday, June 11th, 1982 in Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. But before these guys started to fight, something interesting happened.
Defying decades of boxing tradition, the champion was introduced before the challenger.
The undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes.
This was the first time in the history of boxing that a heavyweight champion was introduced before the challenger was, which showed so much disrespect to Larry Holmes. Not only that, they both got the same amount of money for the fight, which also signaled racism to Holmes' camp. But we all know how the fight ended, right? Holmes knocked Cooney out in the 13th round. But you guys are asking, what in the hell does this have to do with Druski, right?
He's right, you know.
Like Larry Holmes in 1981, Druski is in his prime. He's the undisputed king of internet comedy. Nobody can touch him. Nobody can see him. He's on another level. There's Druski, and then there's everybody else. His skits are amazing. They're like sociological case studies that even sociologists themselves have not even thought about. Look at Druski's work with the NASCAR skit, or the Black Hebrew Israelites, or the mega church pastors. These are all brilliant. His comedy, while offensive, has a message to whoever who's watching, and that message is a hard truth. But his biggest skit today, in my honest opinion, was that about Erika Kirk. Druski's skit really pissed off the right. Its traction on Instagram right now is at 94.6 million views.
Damn, damn, damn!
But this isn't the first time that Druski's skit pissed off somebody.
Druski did Whiteface. It's funny, but it seems like people are saying if a white person did Blackface, that it wouldn't be okay. Only one way to test it out.
You see, this is Druski's NASCAR skit. And of course, he put on Whiteface. Look who is here being critical about it. That's Logan Paul. You see, he's saying, yeah, this skit is funny, but would people be upset if it was Blackface? Just stick with me. See, that is Logan Paul, famous YouTuber, who is the brother of, you guessed it, Jake Paul. Jake Paul knows how to get to the bag. He would do anything. YouTube, he'll box. I mean, he knows how to do a whole bunch of stuff. And he seems like he's super rich. He has no real interest in being pissed off about what Druski is doing. But there's a problem. Druski is just too big and too popular as a comedian and being black for anybody to say something about it. But there is somebody who wants to be that great white hope for Druski.
I want to ask you something because I've been over the last couple of days calling makeup artists, and I was gonna do a response to this and like go and do like the full on
Darker?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and do it and just do it back, because why not?
Yeah.
Like, are we on the same playing field? Like,
I think if there's a way to do it, singing in well, even this sentence. But if there's a way to do it, I've been here many times. If there's a way to do it, I think there needs to be some black support for the character.
See, Jake Paul wants to do what Jerry Cooney did many years ago, which is he wants to challenge Druski as the white guy to put black people in their place. Now, this has happened historically, especially in sports. There was Jack Johnson in 1908, who was the heavyweight title holder, and there was the former heavyweight champion, James Jeffries, a former undefeated champion who came out of retirement to fight Johnson, and it didn't work out well. He also got his ass whooped.
Got him!
But at least in the case of James Jeffries and Jerry Cooney, they were boxers, which is interesting because Jake Paul is that.
I thought he was a boxer.
That's right. Isn't Jake Paul a boxer?
It's just like Druski's a comedian. And, you know, I really don't know who you are. I don't know if you're the boxer. I don't know who you really are. But I don't know if you're a comedian or not, but I never heard of you, so I don't think you're a comedian.
You see, this is interesting. Druski is so powerful and he's pissing people off that you have boxers who are now fighting people coming into internet comedy trying to make a skit because they have to be the great white hope. They feel because Druski is a comedian and he's doing Whiteface and he's making fun of Erika Kirk, that somehow, some way, that gives them the authority to come after Druski so that they can make a skit of their own making fun of black people. But see, there's a problem.
In actuality, it's a lot smaller than it might seem. What I'm trying to say is that Whiteface and Blackface are not comparable because only one of them has a historical context tied behind it, that being Blackface. It was used as a tool to dehumanize people, as a means of upholding a racial hierarchy that keeps one group at the top and another way, way down at the bottom. It wasn't just for the sake of comedy, it was also used to reinforce the fact that a group of people were subhumans. They were inferior to us. They don't deserve equality, and that's why it's okay to mock their features and just mock them in general. Whiteface does not have any of that. So even though both of these two terms, right, Whiteface and Blackface, they exist in a literal sense, only one of them is actually real, and that would be Blackface.
You see, doing Whiteface has never been made to dehumanize white people, but Blackface has been made to dehumanize black people. And see, Jake Paul is saying that, oh, this is a time for equality now. I can go out and do Blackface. Let me get my makeup artist to go out and show who I really am, because how I really feel. And we already know that because Jake Paul checks all the boxes. He's a MAGA supporter. Brother already had a problem with the NASCAR skit. So now here is Jake Paul's opportunity to come out and be the great white hope. He's gonna stand up for white people. And since the black person did it, it automatically gives me the opportunity to do it. But Whiteface has never been historically discriminatory towards whites. It just hasn't. And the reason why the skit went so viral was not because of the black community. It was because of all people. The skit was on point. It matched up exactly to how she behaves. It mimicked the way that she is on camera. It mimicked her mannerisms. So it really wasn't mimicking her as a white person so much as it was mimicking her as an individual. She just happened to be white, the same way that Druski mimics Hebrew Israelites, the same way that Druski mimics megachurch pastors. But then let's talk about this.
And the thing is, Druski is offensive by design. That is his brand. In every single one of his videos, he's punching at a demographic of people, and that's why he's so popular, because people like his offensive jokes. So when you ask me if he can get away with doing Whiteface, but why can't I get away with doing Blackface, it ties back to the golden rule of offensive comedy. That being that a joke has to be funnier than it is offensive.
Druski's comedy is definitely offensive by design. It's not racially biased. That's just what he does. And if you are going to make a blackface skit, it has to be more funny than it is offensive. And this is my issue here with Jake Paul or Logan Paul. Number one, when Druski did the Black Hebrew Israelite skit, were you offended? When Druski made fun of black mega church pastors, were you offended? And I want to build onto this whole other point. You see, here's what Jake Paul and Logan Paul are trying to do, and what white people are trying to do a lot on social media. There is this idea that if Jake Paul does this skit, that he will be canceled, that making fun of black people or doing blackface is going to destroy his career. I disagree. You want to know why?
Jake, you got to come up. Come here. You got to come.
Mr. Trump, we need more factories like this thriving all over the country, and I know he's going to be the one to bring that here to us. I know God is with us.
If anything, this is virtue signaling to the MAGA base, to the extreme right, that listen, I'm proud to be a white person, and how dare these black people make fun of us. Jake Paul is already extremely rich. He already has a lot of money. The people who buy his fights or support him are going to do so. And in fact, more white people are going to support him even more. He won't lose any brand deals. He'll probably gain more brand deals. And being on the right and being extremely white on the right is the most financially lucrative thing that a Caucasian person can do right now. And he understands that if he does this, number one, it's going to give him a lot of publicity. Number two, publicity as a content creator brings in money. This skit has the ability to be as big as Druski's or even larger, which is going to drive, number one, more money, more opportunity for Jake Paul. And we've already seen the writing on the wall. Nick Fuentes, a guy who has been literally blacked out of the market for so many years on social media, has started making a lot of money being on the white right. We've seen it with Charlie Kirk, making a lot of money on the white right. White people are going to look for equality even when it's not there to prove a point. But ultimately, in the long run, Jake Paul will end up like the other failed great white hopes. And the reason for it is this. You're simply not qualified to be doing skits. You're not on Druski's level. You're not a comedian. You're not known for doing this. If anything, the skit blows up in his face regardless of the attention. But I do want you guys to know that there are many great white hopes coming down the pike. White people want their own version of Druski. They already got their own version of the president, Donald Trump. They've already gotten their own version of Martin Luther King and Charlie Kirk. Now they're looking for their white version of Druski. And somebody will step up to the plate, even if it's somebody who has no comedy experience like Jake Paul. So black people better get ready. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Oshay Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.